Welcome to Movie Crew. What do you say? Sorry. What? I'll do the intro. What do you mean? Who gave you the man? What? I always do the intro. Who do you think you are? I won't change it. Huh? Change it? Yeah. What? Whoa! What you doing, mate? Huh? Don't touch me. Whoa! Mate, the Iron Claw's gonna come and get you, mate. No. Ah! The champ, mate. Hey guys, welcome to another Movie Crew review. Today we'll be reviewing the movie The Iron Claw. The movie stars Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Erich.
So the film takes place in the late 1970s and follows the Von Erich wrestling family through their ups and downs and the Von Erich curse, which plays a large part in the latter part of the movie. So Efron plays the main character of the film, and he's Kevin Von Erich, and it really centers around him and his family. So let's get into the review, guys.
Alright, yep. So before we get into the movie, I just want to say a couple of things about wrestling in general. Us wrestling fans, me, get a lot of shit because people say wrestling is fake and all. It's not fake. It's pretty much the real deal, and guys need to learn that shit. Please, sorry. And I just want to say, rest in peace, Eddie. I miss you forever. Rest in peace to Wyndham. Alrighty, let's get into the review. Okay. The Iron Claw. So first, I will just talk about the good. The wrestling in the movie was great. Like the ring, the way Efron mostly portrayed the character. He didn't just embody like the physical aspect. He was Kevin Von Erich. I felt he's the guy. The way he did all the moves were amazing. There's a wrestling fight between his character and Hardy Grace's character. It was in the beginning. Amazing. I was really on the edge of my seat. Even fake fight, yeah. Alright, John, what do you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The film was a drama, so it's quite serious. It's produced by A24, but it's a very standard film. There's no really strange things that come up in it. It's a very cut and dry historical piece. Not knowing the story and not knowing the background going into the film, it's quite an enjoyable 2 hours and 21 minutes. I know that some sad things do happen in the film, but as the film goes, I think it does it in a very clean and not very depictive way as it could have been done as a more graphic film. So I think it does it very nice, seeming that these people are real people. They're not just characters written. So it doesn't really disrespect their kind of character. So I really enjoyed it. I think the wrestling looks quite good in the film, and you get just enough of it. They have a good use of montages in the film that don't feel overly used to bring the story along, but because it's in that concentrated period of time, it really feels like it's about, I'd say, a 10-year span over the film, and it's very concentrated, so you don't feel like you're getting too much thrown at you at the one time. So I really enjoyed it, and they do give you a good amount of like ending for the characters, what happens to them after the film, the ones that you don't find out what happened to in the film. So, Cameron, your thoughts?
Yeah, I love this movie. I'm a big Efron fan, and to see him do a very dramatic role, everything he did, it was sold to me straight away. I was every emotional ride, was every gut punch that he took, like it was just like I felt that. Like coming out of the movie, I remember you asked me like, "Are you alright?" And I was just trying to like digest it. This actually happened. Like it's mental to me. Like it is pretty, and the way his character and the way he does the character, and how he's gonna comprehend everything that's happening, he sells that so well. And I'm just like, this is top tier movie. All the actors were amazing. I loved everything. The wrestling was great. He felt like every bash. Every
moves were
and you know what?
Really good.
The heart really went, and it was just like
it was quite an emotional film.
It is,
especially the ending. It's quite nice.
Yeah, even just the whole, even the beginning, the first scene.
The first scene with the ring, just like in black and white.
Yeah.
That shot was amazing, and I knew straight in like, yeah, something special.
But it's good because you get to see. It's not really a spoiler because it's the very start of the movie, but most of the film is the kids wrestling. You actually get to see the dad wrestling and living his dream, I guess, for that brief period of time.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see where it started and then where it is and where it ends up. I think that's really well done in the film.
Yeah.
I don't think there wasn't anything that we really missed in the film.
If you guys didn't know much, true.
Yeah. The only thing like real life was there was one brother that wasn't portrayed in the film.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was one thing that I guess I had to make the tough decision not to put him in, mainly just because of timing and flow. But I think the characters that they did spend time on were all developed. And,
like you felt like you were part of the family.
True.
Everyone you felt like, I know exactly who you are, what you think you are, and sort of your hobbies and everything, all of them. And that's pretty hard in
such like
in a movie in a very narrow time.
Sure. I want to talk about a couple of things. Yeah. So even though it's a wrestling movie, we were so much attached to the family, and we understand even Zac Efron's character, what brotherhood meant to him, and they focus a lot on the family aspect.
Yeah, very
family oriented, and you kind of feel like from their perspective, it's very hard. Even you can say they're nepo babies. They are, like his father was a huge wrestler.
Yeah.
But the pressure they were put under because they had to make
please the dad. Yeah.
Please the dad, and they tried their best. One of the kids wanted to be a musician, but he had to come into the wrestling because he had to please the dad. So it was very emotional, that aspect too.
Yeah.
The one thing I found, and I don't know if the parents would really like this, but that the film gives off, is that the mum and the dad were very closed off. They weren't the kind of like loving parents that do what you like and will support you. The dad was very much, even though it was like family comes first, he was very much wrestling. Wrestling. And when Jeremy Allen White in this film, he comes into it partway, so they don't introduce everybody like at the start. Yeah. They introduce him partway through the film, and he's an Olympic tryout. He's trying to get into the Olympics to do discus, but because of the boycott during the Cold War of the Americans when they had the Moscow Olympics, that was one thing that he couldn't do. So he came back into the wrestling scene, but it was that they kind of just didn't really nurture the children. For example, at the very start of the film, the character that Zac Efron plays went to talk to the mum, and she pretty much dismissed him that, it's between your brother and the dad.
Yeah.
And I don't get involved. Whereas, in any other kind of film or even real life, maybe the mum would step in to give that help or nurturing, but these parents, they seem a little strained from the standard.
Probably they were like this.
So, I would say that they're probably taken off the real life people, but not knowing them, I guess.
Yeah, we'll never know, but But I could agree to that. Yeah. But with the discus, he was still proud of him because he was going to make the Olympics.
Yeah, he always said in the credit.
As long as you achieve something, he was satisfied.
Yeah,
but it depended on what you wanted to achieve.
Yeah, true. If he'll be a musician, he probably won't be.
Yeah, because if he did the Olympics and he probably came back with no medal, he probably would have been like so angry.
Yeah, true. There's no real, for him, it came across as there was no real point for participation more than it was
you have to
even the sons, they're doing really well in wrestling, but until he gets that belt, they haven't really done enough for him. Yeah. And you can see Zac Efron's character especially is really trying hard, and he gets obstacles thrown in his way. But it's one of those things that even though he comes close, the dad just never gives him the encouragement. So it was an interesting film. I think from that perspective.
I do have one more thing to say before I get a little bit problem as well. I always do. All right. One more thing is they sort of show a scene like something tragic happens to someone. They won't actually show the scene. Instead of they would just show another shot, and you have to take it all in through one shot. And I think that happens for a couple of times. That was a great move, and I would really love if other movies would just give her another shot, but don't actually give what actually happened.
Yeah. Because it lets you really soak it in and think about
what happened.
Because you still have that kind of thought, maybe it's not as bad as it could be, but then it's made official that it is.
The other thing is, people who get put off by, say, the gory aspect of seeing something happen to that effect, or are disturbed by those kind of things, you can watch that film and I don't think it is really
visually but mentally you're still
scarred. I'm scarred.
But graphically it's not as bad. It's not like other films that use that kind of gore as like the aspect of that scene. They kind of use the emotion more to the film.
Alright, I have one problem.
So what's your minute, man?
Okay. So, no offense to the guy who played Ric Flair, the nature boy. Woo! So, okay. He wasn't hitting for me, honestly. Nature boy, he's the best wrestler of all time. Even if they wanted him to play, I would have loved if they introduced Ric Flair before some fight, maybe, before any match.
Well, they did the interview, didn't they?
They didn't show him.
Yeah, it was still the persona.
They showed him, he's cutting a promo when the hitting the fan. So I thought if he was introduced a bit before, it took me out for a couple of minutes. Yeah, and like I said, Nature Boy, he's very flamboyant. He's still flamboyant. Man, don't get cancelled.
Yeah, I think that's more like if you're into wrestling and you know the scene.
Yeah, for me and John, who don't know this person at all,
that's
quite an entertaining piece to tuck in there. Class.
Yeah, he had a great boxing move. I mean, at least you can say that.
Yeah. You guys need to watch his matches. He'll get you well done. He's great.
Yeah. And just on the funniest side of things, in the scene when he's on the date, Zac Efron's character's on the first date. And they're having the conversation about wrestling.
Yes.
Now, I can honestly say that was exactly our conversation about 10 years ago, whatever. And you're like, that's always the discussion. That's the most generic discussion between a wrestling fan and a non-wrestling fan. It always starts with, well,
it's fake. Yeah, it's not, bro.
And that whole scene, I was just... in my head, I'm just like, wow, this is the same discussion I had with Moon.
Yeah,
I was the chick and it was the wrestling fan. And it was just, I thought that scene was really good.
Yeah. See? Well, you guys are welcome,
Alright, so we're going to give our scores?
Yep.
Alright, how many iron claws are you giving it? Moon?
9.5. Yeah. 9.5 iron claws out of 10.
John?
I'm giving it 9 out of 10 iron claws.
Me, as a champ,
that's Marvin title.
giving it 9.5 out of 10 iron claws. This was a fantastic movie. I would recommend it to anyone.
Really. Oh, yes. Even, yes. Just one thing, even there are certain changes like John said, I would still, it depicts most of the things perfectly. There are a few things they have changed, but I understand why they did it.
So do I.
So
to help the flow.
Don't get bogged down with these things and just watch for what it is.
I mean, people are going to be a little bit butthurt about that.
Yeah, they are.
But as a movie, it's perfect. Nearly perfect.
This isn't a documentary at the end of the day. It's
true.
So
it is.
It's really got to be the feature.
Yeah. Alright guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you for the next one. Ciao.